Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be going over some NFC West free agency and offseason grades. Before we get started though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. And with that said, let's dive right into the video and I hope you enjoy. So when we talk about the NFC West, let's start with the Arizona Cardinals, and let's just take a look at what they did this offseason and free agency. They brought in A.J. Green. They brought back Kelvin Beachum. I really like that move. They brought in Rodney Hudson. I'm going to absolutely go berserk about that. Marcus Golden, J.J. Watt, and then they added some other guys. Matt Prater, too, really important after Zane Gonzalez pretty much cost them a playoff spot. So I want to give them an A-, and I'm not giving them an A because of, I think, the A.J. Green signing. For me, I don't like that A.J. Green signing. It's a one-year deal, $6 million. Yeah, it's a low-risk, high-reward deal, but I think that there were better wide receivers that would have fit their system better. I thought that if they had brought John Brown back maybe to the fold in Arizona, that would have been interesting. I thought there were some other receivers that they could have gone after, maybe T.Y. Hilton. I don't know. I don't love A.J. Green. I think that he doesn't have a lot to offer for, and especially at $6 million, I think there are other wide receivers that they could have paid that amount of money and gotten more production out of. So for those reasons, I'm not giving the Cardinals an A. But I absolutely love the Beachum signing. It's a 2-year, $4 million deal. Low risk, he can play, the offensive tackle position pretty well, and, he can be a rotational piece for them. Rodney Hudson, oh my God, I absolutely love this move. They needed a center. They were in the Corey Linsley sweepstakes. They didn't get there. There were some other okay centers on the market. Austin Reiter, there was David Andrews, Matt Skura, Ted Karras, just to name a few. Weren't really interested in those, but they got arguably the second best center in the NFL, maybe even the best center in the NFL for a third-round pick, pretty much. For a third-round pick next season. I mean, I just absolutely love this move. It's exactly what they needed for their run game. It's what they needed for their pass protection. Rodney Hudson's an elite center, and he's going to really improve that offensive line. I absolutely love the Marcus Golden signing, too. I mean, he's been super productive in Arizona. It's a 2-year, $9 million deal, and then he's going to have the chance to play with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones when he comes back next year. That's going to be scary. Golden was really productive for the Cardinals, and he's signing to a cheap deal. I mean, I thought he could have gotten around the $6 to $7 million range, if not $8 million. But they choose not to re-sign Hassan Reddick. They go with Marcus Golden, a lot cheaper, and I think that they get a lot of value out of that. But more importantly, getting J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is one of the elite, defensive ends in the NFL, and although he's not quite there anymore, it's still, a deal that's really going to help their pass rush. And him and Chandler Jones, I go back to it, it's going to be scary. It's really scary for that, that defensive line and that ability for the Cardinals to get to the quarterback, something that they did not do enough last year, and I think that they can do more. And by getting J.J. Watt, that's only going to help them there. And sure that they didn't re-sign Patrick Peterson. They didn't really have the cap space to do that. So I think they did a really good job with the cap space they had. Also, I love the Matt Prater deal. I think Prater is one of the better kickers in the NFL. Zane Gonzalez was up and down for them last year. He had some really good games, but then, he ended up pretty much costing them a playoff spot, as I just said earlier. So I think getting Prater, who's a veteran kicker, he'll do his job, and I think that's what the Cardinals need at the kicker position. Now let's go to the Rams. And the Rams, I'm going to give them a C+. I'm going to give them a C+ for a few reasons. One, they don't have any cap space, so they made some moves. And more importantly, they had to trade away Michael Brockers because Brockers wouldn't re-sign his contract. But overall, I don't mind the moves that the Rams made. The going out and getting Matthew Stafford, I think, was a little unnecessary. I don't think he's worth 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not really a fan of that trade for the Rams. I think that was a little excessive. And then also the Leonard Floyd move. I think that that's an overpaid deal. I mean, the guy had 12.5 sacks, I think, last year. But with Chicago, when he was pretty much that pass rusher there across from Khalil Mack, he didn't get any production. So it was really, a 1-year thing for the Rams and Leonard Floyd last year. And although Leonard Floyd really showed that he can be one of the better run defenders in the NFL and be a guy who can get pressure on the quarterback and get sacks on the quarterback, I think that him only doing it for 1 year isn't it's not worth a 4-year, $64 million deal. So I don't love that contract either. But nonetheless, Floyd was definitely a good player for them, and him and Aaron Donald are going to be scary for the next few years. But overall, I just think that's a lot of money for a guy that really only had 1 year in that system, and who, he played really well in that 1 year. But before in another system, he had never really had that much success. So that's a little concerning. So at the date of recording, Desean Jackson had not signed yet with the Los Angeles Rams. So I just want to break down a little bit of his signing. I don't think that really changes much about the grade with the Rams. I mean, he's an older receiver. He's going to add a little bit of, speed to that offense. But overall, I don't think he changes too much. You really got to focus on the Matthew Stafford and Leonard Floyd things there. And I think Floyd was a little bit overpaid, and I don't think the real need for Stafford was there. So overall, I don't think Desean Jackson changes it from a C plus to a B minus. I still think that, LA is right in that C range. And overall, although Desean Jackson might be a nice signing to add some depth to the wide receiver room and maybe add some speed to that offense, I don't think it really changes how the Rams offseason really went. Now, though, let's go to the 49ers, and I think the 49ers made some pretty good moves here. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk, absolutely massive. He's a crucial part to that 49ers run game. He's a huge part of what Kyle Shanahan likes to do on the offensive side of the football. Kyle Juszczyk can catch the ball out of the backfield a little bit too. Really good blocker. He's an elite tight end. He's an elite fullback. That's what he does. The Trent Williams deal, that's a massive contract. 6 years, $138.06 million. It makes him the highest paid left tackle in the NFL, and he's like 33. I mean, yeah, they needed to keep him, but at the end of the day, I don't love that. I think that contract's going to come back to bite them. Sure, he was absolutely fantastic as a run blocker last year. He's a really good pass protector too. But I think, the 49ers going to be overall here. I love the Alex Mack move here. I thought he, 1 year, $5.5 million deal, reunites with Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, they were together in Atlanta. So I like that move. I also like them getting the linebacker Samson Ebukam. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I thought he had some good seasons before, and I thought that he's going to be able to get to the quarterback a little bit and be a little bit of a dynamic football player who can get out and just get to the football. That's what he does. I like them going out and re-signing Jason Verrett. I thought that was another good move. So I think they made some good moves. That's why I'm going to give them a B. But I think they did end up overpaying Trent Williams. I mean, that price got bumped up by the Kansas City Chiefs. It got bumped up by the Indianapolis Colts. They ended up being able to re-sign him, but I think they're going to come back to bite on that. They're going to come back to regret that one. But overall, I like the moves they made, but I can't live with that Trent Williams price tag. I just really can't, especially when he's one of the older left tackles in the NFL too. We've seen some good left tackles play into their 40s. I guess like a guy like Andrew Whitworth, but Trent Williams, that concerns me, especially a few years coming off of he didn't even know if he was going to really end up playing much more in his career. So a little concerning, but overall, I like the moves this 49ers team made to keep that defensive intensity and keep some guys on offense too. Now though, let's go to the Seattle Seahawks. And this is going to be the final team that we're going to see. And I'm going to give them a B. I like them getting Chris Carson back. I like them getting Gerald, Everett, Gabe Jackson, Poona Ford. Absolutely love them re-signing him. And even a guy like Witherspoon was a good move. But the reason I'm giving them a B is they couldn't end up re-signing Shaquille Griffin, who was their standout corner from last year. Really big interception guy for them. They couldn't re-sign him, and I think that's going to be really that's going to hurt them a lot. He was one of their better corners. But at the end of the day, I like them re-signing Chris Carson. I think that's a really smart deal. 2 years, just shy of $15 million. And he's a power back that has the speed to bounce the ball to the outside. And I really like what he brings to the table for that Seattle Seahawks team. I made a video on that. If you guys want to check that out, I'm sure you can find that on my channel. Gerald Everett, that's another guy who I think can really add a legit tight end one to their team. 1 year deal worth up to $7 million, including $6 million guaranteed. It's a 1 year short term prove it deal, and the Seahawks need a legit tight end to pair next to Will Dissly. That's what Everett does. Gabe Jackson, they need a good pass protector at the offensive line, and they need some offensive linemen who can really run block and pass protect. Gabe Jackson is above average when it comes to the offensive right guard position, so I like that move. They re-signed Ethan Posick. Poona Ford, I absolutely love what he can do as a nose tackle, as a run defender, really able to just stop the run at a high level. And I really think that he did a really good job in his short time in Seattle to warrant a big term extension, like a 2 year, $14 million deal. Love that. And I like them getting Witherspoon, 1 year, $4 million deal, really good man corner. I mean, he's not really a good man corner, but I mean, he excels in man coverage. And I think that, his ability to just be sticky in man coverage, and sure, he kind of got burned by DK Metcalf last year. But overall, I like these moves, so I think that they deserve a B here in Seattle. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.